welcome to my final presentation for CE 300 on what my opinion is on a scholarly person. So traits of a scholarly person, according to me, are they never give up, they are always adapting, they are always prepared, organized, open-minded, and they are always willing to try something new. Am I a scholarly person? I would think so. I don't give up. I'm always looking for a new solution. I come from a family that has moved a lot when I was a child, so I've had to adapt to a lot of different situations. I wouldn't say that I'm always prepared, but when I am as best prepared as possible. I am extremely organized, I am very open-minded, and I am always willing to try new things. So my definition of an everyday hero is a person that is always looking out for others. An everyday hero always sees the best in every situation, and everyday heroes are always looking for ways to better themselves and their environment, not just for themselves, but also for other people. My everyday hero, I would say, is my sister Jackie. I would love to do the typical cliche mom, but I feel like everybody says their mom, and of course my mom is an everyday hero, but today I'm going to focus on my sister Jackie. I chose Jackie because she has been through a lot in her life, moving to Venezuela, marrying to Venezuela, moving back, and she has inspired me to be the person that I am today. She never gives up. She's always adapting. As I said, she moved to Venezuela a couple years ago and has moved back, so she's had to adapt to different cultures. She is always prepared. She is organized and open-minded. She is the person that taught me to be open-minded. I tried sushi for the first time in Venezuela. And she's always willing to try something new. As for my academic plan, this is my last semester, so my academic plan goes beyond my bachelor's degree. I do plan on going for graduate school in photography. As for my undergrad, I did take courses in photography and the fine arts, as well as my major in advertising, to ensure that I am more hireable and that I am a better applicant for grad school. I want to go to grad school in Boulder. Doesn't matter which university at this point, I just want to get in. My professional plan, I already have a job as a graphic designer and photographer, and I wish to continue this. I would like to work at an agency in Boulder, Colorado, and as well as doing part-time photography portraits on the side, such as senior photography, wedding photography, etc. And I'd also like to volunteer at an animal shelter because I love animals. Social justice challenges I might face in my workforce are social justice opinions on my age and gender. Age because I am young, and gender because I am female. I hope that I do not have to face these challenges, but if I do, this course has taught me how to face those challenges by always reminding them of the law and how it protects my rights, and so forth. Multicultural awareness is very important in the career field of advertising. I have a very good example to demonstrate this. Gerber Baby Foods started selling their Gerber Baby Food line in Africa, and in Africa, it is very common to show what product is in the jar or box or product placement, and the picture shows what the product is in the container. And Gerber Baby is famous for having the baby face on the container, so whenever they started selling Gerber Baby Food in Africa, the Africans were kind of freaked out because it had a baby face on the jar, and to them this meant that there was actually babies in the baby food. Of course, this is not the case, and Gerber had to do some damage control and rebrand their company for Africa. According to the Erikson theory, having education is very important. It makes you more financially stable and aware. It makes you able to handle professional situations better. And it makes you better at communication and therefore better social relationships. So there's two stories in the book that I related to during this course of the semester. This first story is called Bumped Off a Flight and Into a Career. Claire was working a job that she didn't like. She bought a ticket and was ready to go on her annual vacation, but she was bumped off her flight. She chose to not use her vacation ticket at that time, but waited a year. And at that time, she hated her job so much that she decided to quit. So instead of using the ticket for vacation, she used it to move out to the Boston area, where she investigated Harvard for jobs and was looking around for opportunities. and she came across a professor that needed a research assistant. So she went up to him and had a conversation. She was hired that day, and she has loved her job since then. So why do I relate to this story? Well, I quit my job as a waitress at the Cove when it was sold to a new owner because I was unhappy. So that's one relationship right there that I have with the author. I wasn't looking for employment in the career field I'm going to school for. At that point, I was just hoping to get a job as a waitress in a store, anything that would give me a paycheck. I heard that a marketing agent was hiring through word of mouth, just as the lady heard that Harvard was hiring. And I ended up getting hired not in the same day, but in the same week. So her and I have a lot of similarities in the story that I feel. The second story that I found a relationship with was called I Can Do That, Old Skills Fit a New Industry. In this story, Diana worked a job in the entertainment industry and made good money but was not happy doing it. Whenever her husband was offered a job in another city, she decided to move away with him and gave up her job. She started looking at listings in the job in the same entertainment industry that she worked at previously with no luck. Well, one day her husband brought home a job listing in the business that he worked for a different job that used some same skills that she used in her previous job, and she applied for it, and she loves it, and she's still working it to this day. How I can relate to this is I love my major industry, and this is going back a couple years to my sophomore year of college. I started out as a biochemistry major and ended up switching to advertising because I wasn't happy with my major. Now you're kind of wondering, what does biochemistry and advertising have in common? Well, both career fields require research skills and creativity. You always have to be able to think outside the box. Especially since with biochemistry, I was hoping to look into research of cancer, and as I'm sure you all know, there are many methods of trying to cure cancer that have already been tried, so you have to think outside the box in that career field. So I took these skills over to advertising, and that is where I am today, and I love it and would never go back. So as a summary, I don't ever give up, I always keep an open mind, and I never shut doors of opportunity. Thank you.